Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is on my 2008 Volvo C30. I've owned this car since 2017. I haven't yet to make a video, so this is the first. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are coming back to look at my content, welcome back. Consider liking the video and subscribing. Let's get on to this, talking about my 2008 Volvo C30 in whatever color you want to call it. So it is windy, so we will hear some wind noise in the video, but the subject of the video, my 2008 Volvo C30 that I've owned for 5 years. As you can tell, I've done a custom wrap to it. I've also changed the wheels. It originally came with silver wheels in 17 inches. These are 18-inch wheels that are wrapped in Continental Extreme Contact Sport tires. The wrap is a full red satin wrap covering the body of the car, and then the black and white are just inlays that will cut and just place on top of the black and white. I do have my roof rack on the top, and from time to time I'll put a roof box on the car, but as of today it's just a roof rack on the car, and that's it. Let's just walk around the car so I can show you everything else. Alright, so as you come to the front of the car, this came with halogen lights, even though Volvo did offer HID bulbs at one point, but I do have halogen lights, and I'm running LED bulbs in the car at the moment to kind of help with visibility at night. My custom plate, Wolverine, with the Swedish flag and Swedish tags on it. So coming around to the side, you can see that I continued the black, red, and white color scheme. I do have this Volvo prancing moose badge on my fender. It kind of mimics the Ferrari's prancing horse. Again, my Vox 18-inch wheels with the Continental Extreme Contact Sports. And then to the back, you can tell that the back is a little different from any other Volvo you would see. This car is a two-door, 5-seater, and the back is like chopped off. And it kind of mimics the style of the P1800 cars that Volvo made back in the 70s, I guess is when they made them. It kind of signifies like the sporty pretensions of a Volvo. And to the rear, I did debadge the car when we were doing the wrap. I do have the Polestar tuning badge on the car. And then this badge is, I believe, placed on cars that are made in Brazil or one of those Latin American countries for Volvo. So I just appropriated it and put it on here. I do have MagnaFlow exhaust coming out from the back. It's a catback system. It is connected to a high flow cat. Okay, so let's open up the hatch in the back, and everything is covered in pollen, even though I tried cleaning the car. But that entire back of the car is just one sheet of glass. It just lifts right up, and then you see the storage area. It is covered in this car with a hard protector, and I do have a rubber mat in here to prevent stuff from sliding around. The rear seats do drop, so you can extend the storage capability in the car. And as you can tell, both on the outside and the inside, I've done customizations to the car. So let's go check that out next. Okay, so moving on to the interior. When you open the car, one of the things that I did do was started changing the interior panels from like a tan color to black, and you can see some of the tan pieces still on the chair rail, the seat rail of the car. But I did change out my driver's seat and the passenger seat to these sparkle buckets. I do have these diamond mats in black and red throughout the cabin, so it's on the driver's side, it's also on the passenger side and in the back. The driver's side is kind of pretty beat up, but it does what it's supposed to. If there's any spills, any dirt, it just traps everything. I can take it out, vacuum it out, and kind of clean up the entire car. I did switch the steering wheel from a standard steering wheel to this one that has grips on it. for a little more sporty pretensions. This car is an automatic, tragically, but I'm not upset because for the price that I paid for this thing, I would have taken it even if it had like paddles to row this car with. But on the passenger side, you can see the diamond mats, and then the passenger seat is covered with a seat cover. Moving to the rear of the car, there is seating for two. Very comfortable if you can get back there. It's a very complicated process trying to get into the back. But again, the seats do fold, so you can extend the storage capability of the rear. And it's easy to just snap the seat back in place. But all of the seats have this black and red kind of scheme going. This is under the hood of my 2008 Volvo C30. I did replace the stock airbox with this cone style intake, and then there's this tube that goes down to the turbo. It is a 5-cylinder 2.5 turbo engine stock. They made approximately 220 horsepower to the front wheels and 236 pound-feet of torque. With some of the upgrades that I've done to this car, it has dynoed to about 236 horsepower to the wheel and about 265 pound-feet of torque as well. So it's not the fastest car in the world. I mean, it does make a great sound when your foot is on the pedal, and it does move with urgency. It is front wheel drive, and seeing that this car is 2,900 pounds, with a lot of that being concentrated right over the front axle, the car tends to oversteer a bit when you drive. There also is some torque steer, so like if you step on it really hard, the front starts to skitter around a bit, and then it kind of grips and takes off. The car does have all of the emergency aids that you would expect on a Volvo. So let's see if I can remember all of the upgrades that I've done to this car. I really haven't kept track of everything, but I'll start with the LED light bulbs in the front. I have the cone style air intake under the hood. I have a turbo intake pipe that connects to that cone style intake and goes down to the turbo. I have a beefed up front strut brace as well as a rear strut brace. I upgraded the sway bars. I went with bigger sway bars in the rear. I did poly bushing front and end rear end links. I tinted the windows. I have the Polestar software tune. On this car, I upgraded the steering wheel to a sport steering wheel. In the front, I upgraded the brake lines from rubber to steel brake lines. I also upgraded the rotors in the front from 280 millimeters to 320 millimeters, slotted and drilled rotors. And in the rear, I have the standard size slotted and drilled rotors as well. The brake pads that I run, it's the EBC yellow stuff street and track pads. I do have a Grom audio unit hooked up to my radio for Bluetooth streaming. There's that hard storage cover in the rear. There are the diamond mats throughout the cabin to help with, keeping the dust and everything trapped. The front seats were Sparkle aftermarket seats. Obviously, the car is wrapped in this black, red, and white color scheme. I do have BC coil racing coilovers installed on the car. The wheels are box 18-inch aftermarket wheels, and then the tires that I run are Continental Extreme Contact Sport tires. And I know I'm forgetting a few things, but this is everything that I've done to the car since I've owned it. So YouTube, that's it for today's video. Thank you for checking out the channel. Hit like, subscribe. See you on the next one. Peace.